Ta-da. Good morning, people. How you doing? Welcome to Thailand. And the temperature today, if I can see it, look at that. That's lovely. Indoors is 27 degrees, outdoors 26. We've got a thunderstorm on its way, and things are looking good. Things are looking a little bit cooler today. Pollution has still been really bad, as you can see. This is from the first map. So this is like the Chonburi and the Chang area on the other side of the bay. As you can see, it's mainly red, which is horrendous. It's been really, really bad again this week. A lot of people are suffering. I've been okay, but it's been hard on a lot of people in Bangkok. We've had, I think, over 100,000 people seeking hospital treatment. But don't quote me on that because it's just what I heard. So somebody can, no doubt somebody will fact check me. Chiang Mai, north of Thailand, you can see with the fires active in the area. 222, it should be below 50, and in Chiang Mai it's 221. In Chiang Rai, you're looking at a 191. These are crazy figures, guys. These are, I couldn't live in that. I just couldn't live in that. And the fires, you can see again, this is Thailand with the white border. And you can see all the fires coming across from Burma and from Laos. So there you go. So it's not looking good there. The air quality is looking really bad up north. If I go across to Asia, really, if you want really good air quality, you need to go across to like the Philippines still. But this is a map of Southeast Asia, including India. And, well, we always know that China's not good anyway, but we are particularly not good. We are actually worse off in like Cambodia and Laos and Myanmar. And again, coming across to Bangladesh, these are really bad countries for burning, every one of them. And we have been suffering badly. So that was Southeast Asia. And this is the NASA fire map. And again, you can see this is Bangladesh over on the left. And coming across to Burma or Myanmar, whatever you want to call it. And then coming down to Laos, Vietnam. There's not a lot of burning at Vietnam, same as Thailand. Very little burning there. Most of the burning here is in Cambodia, Laos, and Myanmar. And that's not good. You know, people die with this air quality. The good news is, Mark, we've got a thunderstorm coming straight in. Good morning, Nikki. How you doing? We've got a lovely thunderstorm coming in. This is where I used to live. So this is the same map I've been showing you, but this is where I used to live. Yeah. So this shows you a fire map, and there's been 2 fires, one in Tenerife and one on the Palma in the last 24 hours, because this is what this fire map does. And then if I go to the next map, this is Tenerife. This is the air quality in Tenerife, and this is what I lived in for 20 years. Over 20 years. So if you look at this fire map here, look, 24, 23. You know, when you live in, seriously, when you're living there, when you're breathing the air, you can really feel the difference. You know, it's totally different to breathing the air here. It's so far apart. So this is beautiful Tenerife. I'm telling you now, if this carries on the way it's going, I will be going back home because I'm a resident there. That is my home. I will be going back. I'm looking at the list and I'm thinking to myself, my God, do I want to live in air quality like we've got here at the moment, or live in that? There's not a lot of options, really. You know, if you can afford to live there, then you live in the better air quality. Saying that, Tenerife has got the best air quality in the world of any place. Markets. Hope you guys were running off to the ATMs this morning. That's my tip of the day. So funny when I've done this, set up this live stream last week, and I said cash is king. Well, cash will be king, and it could be this week because I think there's going to be a bit of a run on the banks this morning. Let's have a look at this one here. And we'll do it from the beginning. There you go. Right, so as you all know, the bank went down on Friday, and I reckon there's going to be a run on the banks. So just do yourselves a favour. Go down to your local bank and just take some money out. Seriously, because this could be contagious today. There's an emergency Fed meeting in America because this could take down all small banks, you see. It's going to have a knock-on domino effect. So just be warned. Be prepared to have some cash, and this is what I was talking about the last few weeks where I cashed in gold for the first time since 1980. And the reason why I done that was because I wanted cash behind me. And this is the reason why. It's because we live in a debt-based system, and we're losing control. Well, we're not losing control. The Fed have lost control. On the exchange rates for all those coming over, USD against the Thai baht. This has come down a little bit. It's, now floating around 1380. Sorry, 34,800. So this is on its way back up. So this should hit 35. And what I say is, if in the US dollar at the moment, if you can get 35, then take it. That's what I'm looking for. But it's looking for a rebound. But as I say, this could be all over the place because of the markets today. But normally the USD will always stay strong in times of crisis. The Australian dollar recently has been really, really suffering. And talking to my good friend John, I can understand why. It's because the interest rates they're charging in Australia are so low compared to their inflation. So I believe they're running about 10% behind. So unless the government increase their borrowing rates by 10%, which they're not going to do because they're going to crash the economy, the Australian dollar's struggling a little bit. It really is struggling, but it has hit the bottom here. So hopefully it should go up a little bit more. If you're in the pound, Nikki, because you're there in the pound, I'll be looking. I haven't really looked at the pound because I've got no pounds, but I'd be looking at getting, if you can, that 42. This is the S&P 500. As I said last week, it was going to hit a high and go lower. It's gone lower all week. And if you look at the very end, come across to Friday, where it's just gone down. They thought, it's going to pivot here. No, it didn't. It just carried on going down. This is not looking very good for Monday. Just be very, very careful. As I say, what I've done recently is converted a lot of cash because we're living in dangerous times here. Dow, it's the worst week since June of last year, and that was all because of Friday. You can just see it got absolutely smashed on Friday. And this is all because of this banking situation. The banking situation is a real concern. Natural gas, if you guys took your profit last Friday, like I said in the last video last weekend, because that's when I would have taken my profit, which would have been the last Friday, you'd have been looking very, very nice there. I had no deal on this. I haven't done a deal this year yet. So, but I did look at that because I had other things going on in my life. So when I trade, I have to have nothing going on. But I only trade about six times a year. So for those who took profit last week, good luck to you. There will be another rebound because this should carry on going down a little bit more. And then we'll have an opportunity to go back in, buy it, and then sell it as it goes back up. It's a classic swing trade. I like it. I like it a lot. Crude oil is just bubbling along here, waiting for the next crisis. This is just bubbling along, but it's just not doing a lot. Hopefully it will go down, so we will have cheaper petrol prices. Gold. Well, gold went flying up on Friday due to the fact of the situation with the banks. When you get a bank run, everyone runs to gold because that is the safest hedge. The safest hedge is always going to be gold over anything else. Platinum, my other favourite. Like I said to you, like I said in the last Monday's video, I would have taken the profit on the Friday because greed's not good. I would have come out of that, made myself about $60 profit on each ounce, and I would have been out of that. And so what I'm looking at now in platinum, still like platinum, but I need platinum to come back down. But the way the banks are going, looks like it's going back up again. So looks like we're in for a strange week again. But as I say, we're in for a massive week this week. BTC has gone down. Then overnight, this has creeped up about $1,000. This is typical retailers thinking, oh, I'm going to buy the dip. When these markets open, BTC will get smacked today. If everything else gets smacked, that will get smacked as well, even bigger. You know, the banks are in trouble. Exactly. Yeah, the Dixie has, again, went down with the banking situation on Friday, and now it's starting to recover. It's starting to recover again. Yeah. This could go either way again today. This could actually rebound back downwards. It's not looking good, the news coming out of the Bank of England or America at the moment, from what I'm seeing overnight. So we've got to check it out. Silvergate, basically. So this was what it was all about. This is over 7 days trading. So over 7 days trading, it lost 90% of its value in 7 days. This one here, we can see this peak. That's where the owners and all the top insider trading took all their money out. They took all their money out there, absolutely smashed the retail investors. And anyone going, well, anyone who was still in it on the 1st of March, you've just been smashed, and that's it. But hopefully, if the Fed step in, they're going to protect the account holders rather than the shareholders. You know, because they should just let the banks go bankrupt, and they should have done that in 2009. We wouldn't be in this state now. First Republic Bank, I looked at their charts as well. This is not looking good. If I had a bank account with them, I'd be down there trying to get my money out right now. I'll be using their cash points trying to strip my account because this is crazy. Signature Bank, another bank as well. You're going to hear about this today as well. I went through several banks. I just picked out 3. These are 3, but there's at least 10 I looked at which all look dodgy. At the moment, I don't really know what is safe. But this is terrible. Again, over a week's period, this one here has lost over 50% of its value. Horrendous, absolutely horrendous. And what's caused this? Well, this is a money chart going all the way back to 2000. It goes back to 1982. We had a bit of I remember that recession. I remember that. That's when we had interest rates of 17% on mortgages. Because I had a house and I had a villa. So going back to those days, if you look at it as we've gone through the money, this is the money supply map, and we've got all the way up here. We got to the pandemic, where it was another little recession, and the money supply shot up because we was doing all the stimulus and all that bullshit. Well, it's gone all the way up, but the Fed can't keep up with it, so they've had to cut the money supply. They've only cut it by a little bit. As soon as they've cut it, look what they've done to the banks. Absolutely smashed it. So the Fed has stopped printing. This is on a debt-based economy, so everyone just relies on debt, and now we're going to all suffer for it. They've got no chance of controlling the inflation. They've got no chance of getting the inflation down to 2%. So there's no point the mainstream press celebrating when we, drop like a couple of points. We're so far behind. This is going to wipe out people's wealth and savings and pensions. And I'm not being pessimistic. I'm just being honest. And cash is king. So the idea is what you got to try and do is get your money into cash, leave it in cash. And then wait for the bargains. If you look at somebody like Warren Buffett at the moment is holding more cash than he's ever held cash in his entire life. Warren Buffett is an investor. He doesn't like holding cash. The reason why he's holding it is because he knows this is all going on. And when it all crashes and it all goes to the bottom, he'll be picking up companies on pennies instead of dollars. So that's the reason why. So I say I'm not as rich as Warren Buffett, but I just try and follow some of the things he does. And that was that one. Anyway, we've had an entertaining week here, as always. So what should I do next? Should I do the news? Go on then, I'll do the news. And if you're there, you'll like this one, Mark. Is Mark still there or is he too busy? This is the Sun Bar. It's the Sun and Moon Bar going down towards Lane P. And there's a couple of classic photographs this week of Steve taking photographs with his customers, his satisfied customers. Have you had enough Leo, my friend? Have you had enough Leo? If you're ever down that way, Lane P, going down towards that way, this is a great bar to go and pop into. This is this week. This is Anna sleeping on the bed and Prai doing her hair. And then the one on the right-hand side is Anna at a little temple, giving thanks at the temple. Oh, you got a public holiday today, Mark. Oh, brilliant. And yeah, I saw this one and I thought this one was funny as well about the ATM, about the Russian girl giving the guy a kiss. It says ATM, but that's what it's like worldwide. It doesn't matter where you live. And this was my wife celebrating International Women's Day, so she got the ironing board out. So that was the little news. And then the main show. Here we go. Side slow. Yep. So Thailand this week in picture. So I thought to myself, I might start a diet. So I've started my fruit juice diet. I had a bottle of wine. Gave up on the bottle of wine and went straight up to Valley View restaurant for an unbelievable breakfast. This was poached eggs and the sausages and the bacon and the mushrooms and everything. Yeah, this was just an amazing breakfast I had there in the Valley View, as always. And that's the reason why I go there. Following day, met with Phayun, Greenie and Gary and Dave and me and Prai, and we went to a great restaurant called Freshella, which was absolutely marvellous, and that was the chili and garlic fish. And Prai, she plucked it all clean. This is me and Prai. A rare photograph of the two of us together. So rare having a photograph like that. Then that was the fried pork. The pork was unbelievable, but I didn't have any because I had enough food on my plate already. I had this, which was this is the meal that Greenie normally has, and this meal is unbelievable. All this is chicken with fresh vegetables. It's a little bit Chinese style, really. It's a bit like the old Chinese style if you have that in Europe or America, Chinese chicken and rice with vegetables. Very nice, that was. And also we had some chicken wings, sold some loaves for the table. And ordered some chips and gravy. And our American cousins loved gravy and chips. Yes, converted them. Later on in the week, went to the Wombat to see Steve, but he was away, unfortunately, but bumped into Brian and Keith. So said hello to them, and this was in the Wombat. But the Wombat was, as always, totally and utterly rammed. It was so busy. Yeah, so popped in to see those guys. Said hello. Keith's got a channel, Keith in Thailand. Great little channel he has. And he does stuff about life around Thailand and living here. He does like 6 months here, 6 months UK. Went off to Macro Well, the only food shortage I could find in Macro was there was no Hellman's mayonnaise, which was a bit of a killer for me because I'm a bit of a sucker for Hellman's mayonnaise. So this was Macro, and this is Cookie's cat food. So that's to buy his monthly cat food, and we feed all the stray cats in the condo block anyway because they kill all the rats. And then on the left-hand side, there's me again standing there with 2-3 bottles of tomato sauce, which we got from this counter down the bottom. The reason why we got the tomato ketchup is because we spent so much on some promotional stuff. Then last week we went to Dubai restaurant in Pattaya. I highly recommend this restaurant. This restaurant is very, very authentic. It's just like going into a restaurant in Cairo or somewhere, you know. Hello, Spanky. Yeah, so we go into this restaurant here, and it is amazing. So we went in there. That was my lamb chops, which was very, very pleasant. John had the same. And we was there with Gary. Gary was having a very healthy salad that looks very, very nice. And then there's me and Dave saying hello to everybody. We had a great time. We really did have a great time there. It was amazing. Me and Dave, so we had a good time. And this is Prai and a Vietnamese lady who was brought up in America. She went there when she was like 1.5. Her husband's got a channel which I can't pronounce. But the Vietnamese lady, she was so funny. She was just, these two together were lethal. So we had a really good night there. It was, and of course, there's John and AJ, you know. And see you next week, John. Can't wait to have you back, mate. Can't wait. Counting down the days. Look how smart you look there with that haircut. Look, can't get enough of it. It was a good night in there, John. I enjoyed that. Hello, Daz. How you doing? So this is the restaurant we went to last week, Daz. It was really good. And then don't forget the inflation. Well, what can I say? You know, I say these banks going down is having massive this week. This was the lovely Anna. She's getting ready for school here, and reason why she's done like this is because she's doing a school dance. So I've got to go see her in the school dance. But Anna's growing up, as you can see, still only 5, same size as a 9-year-old. This is one of my neighbours, Jerry. Hello, Jerry. No doubt you'll be watching later. It's probably a little bit too early for you because he's in Harwin. But went off to Siamsbury. And then we went to the Green Stop. And the Green Stop is the best marijuana shop in Pattaya. And we went there and, yeah, it was quite an experience there. I didn't take anything because I was driving there. But I had a 50-gram edible, which Dave bought for me for my birthday, and I thought that was very kind of him. And I took that on Saturday, and yeah, Saturday was a bit of a blur for me. So this was the lads. You know, we have a tough life here. People don't realise what a hard life we have here, living here. You know, because people say, well, you must get bored. I think boring's the last thing I can ever think of. And I'm sure John in the chat and Daz will agree. You just don't get bored here. We've always got something to do. This was the selection of sweets. I can't say what it is because you know that YouTube will just take me down tomorrow. But this is the cookie jars. Some amazing stuff they've got there. Some amazing stuff. And this was us at the bar because we was going to a restaurant afterwards, but we met up here first, and so we come here and then went to the restaurant. And that's what I'm saying. It is really, really hard. People don't realise what a tough life is. And this is another photograph. And that was Dave there. He's got something suspicious in his hands there. And this was a strange plant growing in the garden, but I didn't know what it was. But it was good fun. This is in Peaky Blinders, and we went in there, and the food in there was just amazing. And this was the jalapeno poppers. They were amazing. They were just like, and this is like a tortilla crisp. I thought it was a parsnip crisp, but it's a tortilla crisp. Very, very nice. Great style, that is. One of the guys had the nachos. Peaky Blinders, you probably all know what the menu is now anyway, because I'm always showing them. But this was just a couple of us. Anyway, you can see what two people were stoned. This is what I had. I had the chicken in the mushroom sauce with vegetables. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And this was Gary. The only one I had dessert was Gary. So he had the chocolate dessert. And afterwards, in Peaky Blinders, E.T. made some cinnamon buns, and we bought them all. We actually purchased all these buns. We purchased them. And this is me in Peaky Blinders, but I'm just drinking iced tea because I don't drink no alcohol anymore. I've not gone teetotal, but I just don't drink tea anymore. So that's about it, really. So let's go back to the normal picture. So I'm going to chat. Look, stop sharing. There you go. 11 people. Yeah, so this thing with the banks this week, the Fed have called an emergency meeting at 11 o'clock, New York time. Yeah. So I was on the phone to my mum last night just saying, look, mum, just go down to the cash point, just get a few £100 out just to cover yourself in cash, just in case the banks stop, just in case the banks, I don't know, freeze money, you know, for all those guys who've lived through 89. If you lived abroad in 1989 and you were in pounds, you were in trouble because we had a Black Monday and people just couldn't exchange money that day. But these banks going down is quite major. At the moment, I'm looking at the crypto markets. All the crypto markets are all flying upwards. But this is just a typical bear trap, so just really be careful. I would not be buying any crypto whatsoever. And if I had any money in Binance, I'd be getting my money out of Binance because this is going to be a ripple effect. It's going to take other companies down. But Binance, I just think, are on dodgy ground. Yeah, you've got some, that's crazy. You've got some, here. So let's have a look at the crypto list. All crypto. Just have a quick look. Because none of the markets have opened yet. The first markets to open will be the commodities. They'll be open soon. Yeah, so Bitcoin's at 21,500 and Ethereum's at 1566. Just really be careful this market. If I was in profit, I'd be out because this is going to get smashed, this market. Yeah, Joe's saying he stopped all his trades on Friday. I reckon this is looking really bad. It could affect up to about 10 banks in the States. What do you reckon, Joe? What do you think is going on? You're there in the States. Can you get money out of cash points tonight? Because when I was looking at the charts on Saturday, even Bank of America was looking dodgy. Buffett owns that. Yeah, so that was it really. But I'll go into my one, my charts. They're not open yet. I can't wait for the clocks to go forward or back or whatever it is. They do. Silver's open. Yeah, silver's up silver's up over 1% already. Just opened. Platinum's up $4, just opened, but it's not up 1% yet. And gold is up 1%, is up 16. Gold is up to 1888, so it could reach 1900. What I'm going by looking at the gold and the silver being up 1%, these markets have only been open 21 minutes. So this is not, this is not looking good. Yep. So keep your eyes peeled for today, people. See what goes on. If anyone wants to come on, anyone want to come online and say hello to me? If not, I'll be saying goodbye. I can put up a link.